Welcome, viewing audience. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bilalian Voices in the tradition of Imam W. Deen Mohammed. Today's date is July 10th, 2025, and this is episode number 53. And today's featured guest is Mr. Jimmie Highsmith Jr. Before we get into our discussion with our guest today, we would like to extend greetings of peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I am your host, Terenzo El-Amin, business owner of El-AminPriorityDistributors.com, and Imam here in Cincinnati, Ohio, joined with my co-host, Hanif Abdul Wahid, our very productive Imam there in Rochester, New York.
Assalamu alaikum.
We'd like to get some announcements before we get into today's discussion with Mr. Jimmie Highsmith. Join us this Sunday at 10 a.m. on YouTube for a conversation with Muslim American leader Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed entitled Living in the Most Serious Times. This will be Sunday morning at 10 a.m. on EAM Speaks YouTube channel. Living in the Most Serious Times, a conversation with Muslim American leader Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed. And be sure to sign up at eamspeaks.com to be able to participate in the live discussion and question period after this conversation with Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed. You can go to eamspeaks.com, look for the tab WDM School of Islamic Thought and Practice. This is a class free that takes place every Sunday at 9 a.m. The title of the Ta'aleem is Researching Islam as Faith, Knowledge, and Action in America and the Modern World, Instruction and Reasoning, Ta'aleem, in the WDM School of Islamic Thought and Practice. This is every Sunday at 9 a.m. This Ta'aleem with a question and discussion period afterwards. You can go to eamspeaks.com for more information on how you sign up for this free productive class. Now we'd like to get into our discussion with our brother, Mr. Jimmie Highsmith, international recording artist and twice Grammy nominated. A brother from Rochester, New York, that we have the pleasure to speaking with today, who recently declared his faith by accepting the religion of Al-Islam as taught by Imam W. Deen Mohammed and emphasized by his successor, Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed. Assalamu alaikum, Jimmie.
Wa alaikum salam, my brother. How are you doing?
We are doing good, and thank you for appearing here on Bilalian Voices, giving the audience a chance, our live audience, a chance to be able to hear from you and your thoughts in regarding Independence Day, your acceptance of the religion, all of that we want to get into. But let's start first with, we want to show a picture of you with Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed, joined with your wife and your best friend. And we want to get your thoughts just on the picture and what this day meant for you, Saturday, July 5th, 2025, there in Rochester, New York, before the major public address by Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed entitled The Commencement of America, Dawning of the Just Order.
You know, all blessings to Allah. It was a great day. I was telling somebody, there's a movie called Malcolm X with Denzel Washington, and he's telling the story of Malcolm X, and he references a point where he was able to meet the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, And he said when he met him, this Spirit of God and the presence of God, it humbled him to the point of tears. That is exactly how I felt when I embraced Imam Muhammad. It was just a moment of cleansing beauty, the power of Allah. I felt in the presence, and I was having my wife, Lou Highsmith, was there with me, and my very dear friend Jesse Tahata. He is Palestinian, and it's a good Muslim brother as well. It was important to him to be there for that day, and I appreciate him being there as well. So I'm very happy. It's funny, in my travels of the world, I've always entertained the idea of following Islam, but never did. I was always spiritual. I was raised in a Christian family for the most part, but just spiritual. But I've always felt like I felt drawn to Islam. I thought Islam is the natural religion for the Afro-American, in all honesty. It really is. And my only regret is I've been to Mecca in the past, and if I had joined Islam a lot sooner, I could have done my circuits then when I was there last time. So I intend on going back and doing my circuits at some point in the very near future. But it was just a great day, and it was such an honor to be able to do it with Imam Earl Mohammed. That's, I mean, it was just a moment I will never forget in my entire life.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. You know, it was my first time being able to meet you. I know I have seen you in our class, our Sunday class, and I heard Imam Wahid speak highly of you, and I was greatly impressed with your performance. That you put on a performance, a light performance before the main address, where people from the public of Rochester and beyond got a chance to listen to you play some very soothing music that was very enjoyable. What we want to do now is play a clip of you playing and then have you discuss just that feeling to be able to open up as you did before Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed gave his major public address there in Rochester. You took my mind back when I was listening to you. I said, man, I heard my father play that song. Yes, sir.
Well, that's Go Washington Jr.'s Wine Light. And the interesting thing is, I used to live in Philadelphia. I was there from 1988 through 1992, and I had a standing gig at a place called Zanzibar Blue, a very exclusive jazz club in Philadelphia. And occasionally we let people sit in with us, you know. And one day, this guy walked into the club who wanted to sit in with us, and it was Go Washington Jr., you know. And that was such a humbling experience. He taught me so much that one day because he was so gracious to me. It was like I could never get an ego or the big head, because someone that big could come to me and say, may I sit in with you? I'm like, yeah, what horn do you want to play of mine? You know? So I picked that song for a reason, because again, it just reaffirms just being grateful and humble. And that's why I felt to be able to be on stage before our great Imam, it was a true honor to do that. And it is reverent, you know, it's special. That's sacred ground. So to be able to get on stage and play music for the folks there to hear their Imam was just, it was something I had to do. And I told Brother Hadif, I said, yeah, man, I'd like to do this if it's okay, if it's in protocol, you know, and just honor what we are as American Muslims, you know, and again, honor our great Imam, Muhammad, you know. So yeah.
Yes, that was beautiful. I sit there with my wife and my niece, and I was watching the people in the audience, and I could see some people wasn't even there for the public address. They was visiting the Memorial Art Gallery, and they happened to hear the music and came in and had a seat. So it was greatly appreciated.
Oh, I was honored to be there to do that. It's with the least I could do for our great Imam. He's an awesome individual. I'm so lucky to be part of this organization and to spend some time with him and just talking with him. It left an impact like you would not believe.
Let me ask you this before I give it to Imam Hanif. What was your impression of the day? What, I know probably later on in the day you had a chance to relax with your wife and have it, talk about what you absorbed from that whole day, especially that address. The Imam gave a very dynamic address, and we're going to play a portion of it later in the program. But give us your thoughts, Jimmie, what you thought of the address, if you can remember anything from that day.
Well, I mean, I was always from the classes on Sunday mornings. I've been intrigued by the Imam. He doesn't preach as he says. He gives you a speech. He gives you something to think about intellectually every time he speaks. And my niece got married that day. So my wife was intending to leave a little early to go to the wedding. But the minute the Imam started speaking, she was snatched right up and didn't leave. And it was powerful. So, I mean, he's a brilliant brother. He's a brilliant brother, and I'm so lucky to have been able to share oxygen with him and hear him speak. It was a great speech. It dealt with a lot of situations, asked a lot of questions, because he's right, talking about, the state of Islam in the Middle East and their lack of involvement with what's going on in Palestine. That's a real question. Why aren't they more involved with it? You're right. I mean, it was just an amazing, dynamic, intellectual speech that I wish more people could have heard. That's the only wish, but I really enjoyed it.
Imam Hanif?
Yes, assalamu alaikum, Jimmie. It was
Welcome salam, brother.
It was an honor for me to see that. We'd spent a few months together, sort of charting out that course, but Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed, he had said to me, and he'd asked me to say to you that you had been Muslim the day that it entered your mind and your heart. But to witness it on that day, it just solidifies it.
Absolutely.
It's something that I'm quite sure that you'll always remember, and I was really excited for it. You know that I'm happy for you to do that. You're my brother, and knowing you all of these years and how you are, I don't think it could happen to a better person to take the Shahada that day. But I wanted to ask you this here, just for the viewing audience, to do a little background on you. You're originally from Rochester, and you were educated in the public schools there. Share with us how you got into music, and take us on just a little journey of how you became twice nominated for a Grammy, and what led you to play this contemporary music that you play today.
So, quiet as it's kept, music is not my passion. It was never a career move I wanted to make. It happened that way. I started playing piano at age 6, when I was 6 years old. My grandfather was a very accomplished trumpet player who played with the Lionel Hampton Band. And he was also a World War II vet, one of the first decorated officers of color in World War II. So music has always been a part of my family. But nonetheless, I started playing piano at 6 years old. And unfortunately, that was my first experience of real racism. I had a little German lady who taught me piano, and she had a little nickname for me that I thought was just the cutest thing in the world until I told my mama. And that was her little nigger boy. I was a little nigger boy. Get my little coffee, little nigger boy. And I would think this is a little cute name. I told my mother that. My mother lost her entire mind. And piano ceased to exist that moment. So a few years later, Terrence Bruce came to my grade school as a substitute teacher for my music class and brought all his saxophones into the class. And I was really intrigued by that. And, went home and said, Dad, I want to play saxophone. So he got me a saxophone and got me the Hochstein at 8 years old. So I started playing at 8 years old. So by the time I was like 10 or 11 years old, I had pretty much honed my saxophone enough to play gigs and make money. So it became like if we had guests over, Jimmy, get your horn, play for the guests. You know what I mean? And I'm playing weddings and bar mitzvahs at, 11, 12 years old, making a little money for myself. Meanwhile, my real passion is science. I was twice on the Eddie Mead show as a kid building DC circuits. I love physics and quantum physics and mathematics and astronomy. That's my passion, and really meteorology is my real passion. So music became the path of least resistance. I was raised in the RCSD, number 11 school, 33 school, Douglas, School of the Arts, and then I went to Eastman.
We lost him.
His bandwidth was low, but here he's coming back.
Sorry, I got kicked out. I don't know what happened. So anyhow, I ended up joining the Air Force because I had to take care of my family. And I joined the Air Force, joined the Air Force Band. I just did born in the Air Force Base. But when I got in the Air Force Band, I realized it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in a concert jazz band, not marching parade and for generals. So I cross-trained out of that into Air Force intelligence, but still played music while I was in the Air Force. So I toured the world playing music in the Air Force and not starving, and worked with some out of great musicians in the process and a record deal. So after 10 years, I got to the Air Force and became a recording artist. And as far as the nominations, there were people in the world who really liked my music enough to recommend me for a nomination. And that's how it happened. But music is important because it's a means to connect people. I remember going to Russia and playing in Russia in 1988. And as you all know, back then, they were our enemy. They were no good. They were just evil people. But I got over there, met these folks just like me and you. And Middle C, still Middle C. So I really enjoyed the opportunity to meet those Russians and play music with those Russians. And that's the same story all over the world with musicians. So I like music for the case that we can bring people together and affect people in a positive way. Do enjoy playing music. And the format I play, I love to the head jazz, true, what I call Afro-American classical music. But unfortunately, the audience is so small, you can't reach many people. So I play a more contemporary style of music that can reach more people and touch more people and bring people together of all nationalities, all religions, all races, etc. So I know it's a long answer, and I'm sorry, but that's pretty much the answer, my brother.
Well, currently, you are doing a whole lot in terms of Rochester, at least in promotions. Recently, you've entered business, and your business partner is a Muslim also too, and I think they've encouraged you also to take a look at this here. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, April of last year, I got offered a job as the CEO of Experience Live Music Group LLC, which is a subsidiary of Experience Live Events owned by the gentleman, Mr. Virak Bayana. Yes, a member of the American Muslim group we're all part of. And yeah, we had great conversations as well about Islam, which led me to talk with you, Brother Hanif, about really becoming a full-fledged Muslim. That job is great. It allows me now to bless other artists with the opportunities to play on the big stage with big artists like this. We're bringing Jeffrey Osborne to Rochester, but we do stuff all over the country: festivals, concert tours, theaters, sporting events. So really, I'm trying to downsize the music in terms of not going on tour anymore. I play enough to be relevant for the mentorship piece here in Rochester. But my real job, again, is just working with Virik and trying to coordinate logistically these festivals and things we're doing.
Tell us briefly a little bit. Oh, well, Jimmie's also bringing the HBCU classic, football classic to Rochester in September. Jimmie, could you tell us just a little bit about that and what that is going to mean for our city?
That's going to be an amazing event. All over the country, there are HBCU football classics, and this is the second year we're doing here in Rochester. It's never been done before in this part of the country. We're bringing Lane College and Central State. For those who've seen the movie Drumline, this is a real live version of that. You're going to have the football game, but then have what's called the fifth quarter, the battle of the band and the drum lines. And it's really exciting. It's a real, I mean, when I was in college, I got to be part of their marching band. And I took it initially, but didn't like marching, so I came back to go to Eastman. I wish I stayed at Dell State, actually. But nonetheless, it's really exciting. And these colleges are great colleges. And we're having a college for kids here in Rochester to meet some of these schools and get scholarships and opportunities to attend an HBCU. Because the thing about HBCU, when you go over there as an Afro-American, you are seen, you are cared for, you are respected. The love and support you get at an HBCU is nothing. It's amazing. You will not get it at other colleges, the support they give you. So this is an opportunity for kids to see these football teams play football and hear these bands and meet some of these colleges as well.
Yeah, that's the basic highlight of it, is that our young people get an opportunity to meet a lot of the recruiters that come up along with this classic that they have here. I wanted to continue to ask you in terms of your experience of coming into Islam. Your family has been very supportive and excited for you. Tell us a little bit about the wife and the children.
Well, the wife and children have been supportive of me. I'll say my wife comes from a very devout Christian family, and my in-laws, they basically have avoided the statement. They've seen on Facebook, but have not said anything regarding the situation. But I expected it. My wife and I, we've been married 30 years this year, been together 33 years, and we are a true team. And she supports everything I do. And she knew I wanted to take this walk, and she did her own investigations about it, and gave her complete blessings. My daughters and my son all again gave their complete blessings to my walk. My middle daughter is Buddhist, my youngest daughter is Christian, and my older two kids are just spiritual. But again, they support me and my efforts, and I love them, appreciate them for that.
Okay. Terenzo, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Jimmie, how did you come across Imam W. Deen Mohammed's teachings and Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed?
From Brother Hanif. We went for coffee one morning. He gave me a YouTube link to the address last year, and gave me some notes to look up, because I had again, when I first started going into Islam, I was looking at Sufism initially. And I come across some Sufis when I was in India. And so when I came to about 2 years ago, I went to a mosque, Indian mosque in Rochester, and it was cool. And but it just didn't feel like a fit, so I didn't join. So I was still like on the fence with everything. I was still going to church. I was playing in a church. I was in their music ministry, but not necessarily saved. I hadn't committed that direction, because I again didn't feel at home, let's just say. So then when I was talking to Virik about really taking a dive into Islam, and a few of my other Muslim friends and brothers I know in the world, they all kept saying, talk to Brother Hanif. So I called Brother Hanif and invited him to breakfast, and he told me about Islam and teachings of W. Muhammad and Earl A. Muhammad as well. And I got hooked. And that's pretty much it, brother.
I'm listening to you. It says a lot about Imam Hanif. When I introduced him earlier and I said productive, I wasn't using that language lightly. I mean, the man has relationships.
Yes, he does.
People trusted him to turn you over to his and let you speak with him, and they trusted what he would tell you. I mean, that says a whole lot.
It does.
Let me ask you this. What was it about Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed and his expression of Islam? Because we know it's a lot of different persuasions, as you just mentioned, about going to an Indian masjid. What was it with what he was presenting that said, hey, this is home, and this is where I'm going to stay?
It wasn't him. It was God, Allah. I felt like this is what needed to be. I felt Allah telling me, all right, this is where you got to be. Simple as that. And the energy was there. Everything just felt like it was supposed to be. That's just it. Everything felt like it was supposed to be. And when I got to meet the Imam, it was confirmed with the energy we shared that moment. Brought me to tears. I don't cry too often. I'm a big man. But I was crying that morning.
Yeah,
I was crying boo-hoo tears.
He was moved.
That was what it was.
Your testimony says a lot. You know, when you said, you know, this is all it was, and you came to this conclusion easy. A lot don't make this hard. You came to the right conclusion easy, and you and you think in the context of so many people that disparage and reject what's being offered. How could you come to that conclusion? This man, innocent man with no agenda, heard the message and accepted willingly. So it says a lot. What we want to do now is show a few pictures and share with the viewing audience, just to give context and background to one. We was in a very distinguished venue. This was no lightweight venue where we were at. It was very dignified people at this venue, Memorial Art Gallery there in Rochester, New York. If we could have Imam Duhan, if you could show some of the pictures from that historic event there, July 5th, Saturday, July 5th, 2025. This is our brother, Imam Duhan. If you see Bilalian Voices, believe us that Imam Duhan is in the background assisting. So here go Imam Duhan, and here is our brother, Brother Jimmie, there at the program. There's our brother Jimmie before the address by Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed, playing that saxophone, playing it so beautifully. Here, from the introduction from Imam Hanif, many of these people, some of these people are in political positions there in Rochester, New York. Some of them go to a special school there in Rochester, New York, in putting emphasis on development for success in our young people. And on the end is a person that I recall being there last year, Councilman.
Terenzo.
Go ahead.
Can I just sort of introduce them?
Yes, please.
Some of the folks that are up there. We had the city council president, Miguel Melendez, with us. Camille Simmons, she's the president of the Rochester City School District Board. And we have State Assemblyman Damon Meeks and his wife that joined us that day. We have the brothers from the talented 10th program in Rochester. And on the end there, newly elected city council person, Kiara Smith. All these folks support us in Rochester. We collaborate on on a almost a daily basis. It's not too much that goes by that we don't call each other and check in with each other, and we're there for each other. So I appreciate them coming out, but most of them, a lot of them, this is their second time coming, and we introduced them to the Imam. He has seen them, has taken pictures with them. So the Imam is like an honored, more than an honored guest now. He's almost a resident. So being that this is the fifth Independence Day address, I had gotten it mixed up. This is the fifth year. Next year is going to be the sixth. And we're hoping to really build upon that. But the citizens of Rochester, they really have embraced this event, which goes all the way back to Frederick Douglass. As you know, Terenzo, you all came up and did an outstanding job introducing the Imam, but Rochester is a very, very special place. It's got good people in it. And these folks are looking, we're looking always for leadership, because this is where the best of leadership began at, in Rochester, New York.
Mm.
Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed has told us many times, in terms of Frederick Douglass, he is possibly the greatest American intellect that we will ever know, or that has ever been in America thus far. So, yeah, that's the picture there. I'm really proud of them that have come out.
Could you share with the viewing audience what are they standing in front of? That yeah.
Well, yes, they're standing in front of the great banner that we have for Independence Day. We've had this now for some time, and it is a picture of the Honorable Frederick Douglass, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and our eternal leader, Imam W. Deen Mohammed. These three men, very similar, especially in stature, work, and deed, and articulation for the human person. Each and every year that we have this here, it's a testimony to us that we are not going to allow this country, America, to not be the country in terms of the vision that we would want for it. You showed me a picture earlier before we came on from the USA Today article, where the Imam said in there is that we exited America, and then we re-entered America. And this re-entry, you can see it. It's encapsulated in this banner here. You know.
Now, Imam Hanif, because a lot of people that's watching tonight may not have possibly been at the venue, could you give a description of the audience? We noticed it was a lot of non-Muslim African Americans in the audience that were applauding what they heard from Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed at different times during his address.
Well, as Jimmie can attest to this here, he knows this also too. Rochester is an activist town. It serves itself in being a town that tries to work for the best situation for Rochester, and trying to make it one city. It's two cities now. It's those that have and those that don't have. And they're looking, they're thirsty for leadership. And leadership in the tradition, as you know it, Imam Terenzo, was a thing that was a part of our overall tradition. Whether it was Christian leadership or Muslim leadership in terms of the African American community, you rarely see that now. And the public address by our leader signifies once again that we're not going to let that go. And so folks were anxious to come out and hear this here. There's still a buzz with it in terms of what they heard. And hopefully we're planning now to possibly have even more addresses in Rochester based upon that receptivity that we got Saturday. But the crowd was mixed with some of our elders, a lot of our young people, a lot of folks that hold political offices. You know, we were happy with that outcome.
Praise be to Allah. What we'd like to do now is play a clip and get some thoughts from Mr. Jimmie Highsmith on this very significant clip, the whole address from the beginning to the end, as I heard a person say, could be the most important public address given by a Muslim African American since our inception in 1930. So listen to this clip and we'll discuss on the other side.
Social group has its role in influencing and shaping the public character of the city or the town or the nation. Every group has its share in the responsibility. In America, it has a synergy in its founding orientation that takes in itself consideration of indigenous people, immigrants, and coerced people.
Coerced.
And in that powerful energy is a discussion on the nature of society. And that's the question. And that's the moral question right now. That is the heavy concern in the conscience of every leader on this earth. Every significant leader on this earth is weighing this question. What is human life entitled to in society? You think that's not the question in Palestine? That's the question. And what recognitions are due to an oppressed population? This was Frederick Douglass' concern. So powerful was it and heavy on his soul that special language that wasn't even existing on the earth at that time came out of his mouth to address it. Frederick Douglass, in this city, so many decades ago, on this day, said to America, to its leadership, and said on behalf of America into the ears of world leadership, that America, your democracy that claims Christ and recognitions of human dignity, your behavior in view of those claims, your hypocrisy in view of those claims, your shortcoming in view of those claims, your behavior in view of those high recognitions would shame a nation of savages. You all that are leaving, you're missing something. You're missing something. It's of sacred importance. It's more important than whatever is drawing you out of here. And it's me to tell you that. Don't treat what I'm telling you as low level. It's of the highest regard, and it will define your existence in this country for the rest of your lives. Treat it with this importance. Playtime, things that are unserious, things that intoxicate your spirit and your mind, have no importance for your stability and your future. God sent me to you to battle with your intellect. And defeat the demons of the culture. It takes some time for the message to come. Ask our brother, who's a jazz musician. It's space and time. Thelonious Monk was a master of space and time. Spread his fingers across the keyboard in a way that jazz had not previously made an accommodation for. But because of his messaging on that keyboard and his use of space and time, he opened up new avenues of expression. And that's what I'm doing with you. You used to rapid fire preachers. Well, I'm taking my time in this measure. And I'm saying that belonging to a tradition. The tradition that I belong to doesn't have as its objective to get you to respond emotionally. It has as its objective to get you to think more carefully and deeply. And as a result of that, act more responsibly.
And that brief clip, so much that the Imam said. Jimmie, you know, I'm reflecting on what you said initially. You said every time I listen to the Imam, essentially he expands my thinking. My thinking is expanded. And when I heard him in this clip, and he started off, he said that America is a discussion on the nature of society. And the understanding, the treatment of the individual human person, that America is a discussion on that. And, you know, when I hear this type of elevated thinking, you know, I'm asking myself, where else can we hear this? Because I'm not hearing it.
Well, like he said, playtime is over. Checkmate. I love the analogy, the metaphor with jazz music. A lot of people think that you got to play a whole lot of notes and this burning solos. That's not what matters. What matters is your solos remembered. Mm-hmm. And Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk and Count Basie were all masters of space. Space is just as important as the notes. And like the great Imam said, he's not being a rapid fire preacher. He's taking his time for your brain to process and engulf these words of knowledge. Yeah. I mean, it's deep. It's deep, yeah. Deep at a high level deep, you know? Yes. And that's what I appreciate about the brother is that, you know, he makes me think. I'm a chess player. I'm a very analytical person, you know? And that's, I think, why I like playing Afro-American classical music, quote unquote jazz, because it's so intellectual. Mm-hmm. And again, it's nice to take your time with music and pick your notes precisely to infect people the way you want them to be infected through your music. And speaking is the same thing. And I love his pattern, how he positions his words. He takes time. He stops. Then he talks. Then he stops. It allows you time to process. Because what he's saying is so deep. If you ain't careful, you're going to miss it. So by taking his time with it, it allows you to really hear it and say, what did he just say? Oh, shoot. That was deep. And then here comes something else he says. So, yeah, he's right. It's a higher level. It's a higher level. It's brilliant.
You know, when you mentioned that about, you know, when he said that about the rapid fire preacher, you know, the audience started clapping because they knew exactly what he was referring to. You know, a lot go over their head. You just...
They go for the effect, the emotion, get them stirred up, excited.
Yes.
He's giving you the truth, the unequivocal truth in its purest form, and allow you time to process it, to say, what did he just say to me? Let me think about that. Then you got something else. Oh, shoot, that's a whole nother, that's overdrive now. Now we're in turbocharge. You know what I mean? It's not rapid fire. It's real. It takes great intellect to take your time like he does and present a message in the way he does for everybody to get it. My wife's an English major from college. She's a poet and an author. And she was so blown away by his speech and just his presentation of the English language. That's important to her.
Yes.
So that was an amazing speech. You know, I'm a veteran. So I'm a true patriot. I love this country that we built. As slaves, we built this country. But I've never celebrated 4th of July because it's bittersweet in the sense that our people were still enslaved. But I love this country because we built this country. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not anti-4th of July. I'm just the guy who goes out and buy fireworks and all that other nonsense. It's not a celebration to me. It's more the remembrance, the fact that we were still enslaved at this moment. But I take pride in the work we did to build this country.
And you know, I'm listening to you because that's a dilemma to many African Americans, whether they admit it or not. And the beautiful thing about this tradition that Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed said he represents, he said that our objective is not to appeal to you emotionally, but to appeal to you in a manner that makes you think and you reason. And what we have as far as this tradition and the way that he expressed it, it's a salvation. It is a salvation, whether the people understand it or not. So we got to get this into the ears of the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, he sounded like Frederick Douglass to me, you know. When he said how the groupings in America is made up, the indigenous, the immigrant, and the coerced.
Yep.
That is powerful.
Very powerful.
Look at those three. Look at those three groupings: the indigenous, the folks that were already here, the immigrants that came here, and the coerced, the slave that was bought here. This is the American experience, and he says the question is, what are they entitled to? What are all of those groupings entitled to?
Yes.
Yeah. And the irony of it is the
powerful, man.
Constitution, what it is, so we're entitled to all of it, but however, we're not. Right. We're still fighting for our piece of the pie still. Yeah. It's not equitable yet. I hate when people go, well, you had a black president. No. Yes, I love Barack Obama, but that does not make things fair yet. It is not equitable. Every bit of wealth in this country is based from the North American slave trade. Every bit of wealth in this country is. You know, we have not gotten our just due yet. You know, I go to Germany, and in Germany, they don't hide the Holocaust. They teach it. They want to make sure everybody knows about the Holocaust that happened. It was a terrible thing. So it will never happen again. But here in America, we don't want to talk about what went on with Afro-Americans, what went on with the Native Americans, the atrocities, the Holocaust in this country. They want to hide all of that because it's uncomfortable. Well, like the great Imam said, these things need to be talked about. Yes. They're uncomfortable, but they need to be talked about, point blank. And this is wrong with this country.
Yeah, America is that discussion.
You know, before we prepare to conclude with our conversation with our brother, Mr. Jimmie Highsmith, you know, that clip, something that I think for those that was there, many people probably never been in a live audience and see something that took place in the way that it took place, in the way it was handled there in Rochester.
Absolutely.
It was some young men there, and during the address, they got up to leave, and the Imam addressed them right there in their leaving out.
Call them out. Call them out.
He addressed them in such a way and touched their consciousness that they turned around and had a seat. But I say that to say that the Imam is not only giving the address, but he's reading the crowd. He's reading who he's speaking with, and he's speaking to you in real time. It's not a rehearsed, inserted program that he gave you. When sitting there, Jimmie, that was organic. That whole situation was organic, and the Imam addressed it in a way that showed what this tradition is all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was pure brilliance. Pure brilliance. And my only regret is more people didn't hear it. That's my only regret.
And that's what we're working for next year. I believe this event is going to get bigger and bigger. And that's what it happened. Every year there in Rochester, it has grown. And we don't expect nothing no different next year. But we are thankful, Mr. Jimmie Highsmith, for allowing us to speak with you, to share your experience on that special day of July 5th, 2025. We're going to ask you, do you have any last words that you would just like to share with the listening audience?
You know, just take time to love yourself and love your neighbors. In all honesty, we gotta embrace each other and support each other. Right now, the world, this country seems so polarized by the political climate. And I got friends who are diehard Trumpers, and I got friends who are diehard, I guess, liberals or progressive. What you call it. I'm just a man in this country trying to do the right thing. I don't care what you follow politically. At the end of the day, we got to come together as Americans and make it work. So take time to love yourself and love your neighbors, you know, and just get off the social media wagon and just get real. You know, stop hearing all this stuff, this AI generated. It's just so much negativity out there. You got to push through it, man. You got to push through it. You know, all praise to Allah. You know that Allah has given me more strength in my life to walk this walk that I'm walking today. And I just ask everybody out there, just take the time to love yourself and love your neighbors and talk to some people and just contribute in a positive way.
Praise be to Allah. Imam Hanif, did you have any lasting words that you wanted to say?
Just our thoughts and prayers are with those in Texas that are surviving the flood.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, over 100 people have lost their lives in this tragic natural disaster. We pray that they get relief.
Amen. We'd like to now conclude with the announcements associated with the leadership of Muslim American leader Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed. Join us this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. on YouTube for a conversation with Muslim American leader Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed entitled Living in the Most Serious Times. You can go to Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed's YouTube channel. It's EAM Speaks. This conversation will take place at 10 a.m. hosted by Imam Ibrahim El-Amin and Farder Brown. This Sunday morning, 10 a.m., Living in the Most Serious Times. After the conversation with Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed, we will be joining him on Zoom for a question and discussion period in which you could sign up to be able to participate in the question and discussion period this Sunday after his conversation, Living in the Most Serious Times, by going to eamspeaks.com and hit the tab WDM School of Islamic Thought and Practice. Now, this class takes place every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. entitled Researching Islam as Faith, Knowledge, and Action in America in the Modern World. Instruction and Reasoning, Ta'aleem, in the WDM School of Islamic Thought and Practice, led by the partner and successor to Imam W. Deen Mohammed, Imam Earl Abdulmalik Mohammed. This class is free and open to the public by going to eamspeaks.com. If you're listening today, I will go sign up today. Now we would like to conclude with the prayer for purification and purpose by Imam W. Deen Mohammed. O Allah, we cannot manage this life for ourselves, not without you. Please make our life what you would want it to be, what you prefer it to be. Do not allow us to act on our own. Help us to act only in obedience to you. We hear you, We obey you, and we look to you for forgiveness, our Lord. And to you is the destination. Amen.